Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment. You can listen to The Mike O'Mara Show at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Let's get started.
It's The Mike O'Mara Show with Mike O'Mara, Oscar Santana, and Rob Spiewak. And now, here's Rob.
I know you're expecting to hear Mike, but we have a late breaking news story, and we needed to start right away. Mike will be joining us. It's huge. It's huge. We are in Washington, D.C., of course, but we're adjacent to Northern Virginia. I live in Northern Virginia.
You do.
And Virginia is facing one of the most important, contentious elections in years. This Tuesday, we will select a governor in the state of Virginia. McAuliffe, Youngkin, who will win?
Who will win?
Who will win? And it's a big deal. In fact, President Biden is actually speaking in Arlington tonight to inspire people to vote the way he feels they should vote. So that's the current president weighing in. We also have on the telephone, he loves to do telephone interviews. I think I hear him in the distance.
I want the biscuit. No, I don't eat Egg McMuffins. The biscuit, with the sausage and egg biscuit. The sausage and egg biscuit. Hello, Rob.
Oh, I haven't even introduced you, sir. I didn't want to interrupt you. Ladies and gentlemen.
Hello, who am I speaking with?
This is Rob Spiewak and Oscar Santana.
That's what I said. Hello, Rob.
I know.
Didn't I say hello, Rob?
Yeah, but I want to make sure you knew Oscar was here, too, from the Mike O'Mara Show. And ladies and gentlemen, former President of the United States, Donald Trump.
Hello, hi. It's President Trump calling in. I felt it was necessary to weigh in on the West Virginia election because it's a disaster. It's a disaster.
Oscar,
with all due respect, it's Virginia, not West Virginia. Virginia.
That's what I said. It's Virginia's. The Virginia's. I'm here on behalf of Glenn Pumpkin, who is, in my humble opinion, one of the most talented, wonderful... Youngkin. Like the other guy...
His name is Youngkin, and I just...
Yes, that's what I said.
This is a little awkward, because I don't know, do we still call you President Trump since you're no longer...
Rob.
I'm Mr. President. Do we still call you President Trump? Can I call you Donald?
Here's the way it works. Anytime, put it on the desk. Sorry, my breakfast is arriving.
Where are you now?
I'm in my office in Palm Beach.
Oh, very nice. Why are you out of breath?
Always out of breath. Are you kidding me?
Not kidding you.
Crying out loud.
The candidate's name is Youngkin.
Yes, Glenn.
Yes.
Glenn
Sven Blumpkin is, as far as I'm concerned, right for the state of West Virginia, and I think that it will be. Right. Everyone knows that this current administration, which stole the election, is a disaster, and it's not good. The other guy, Tommy McDonald, is
Terry McAuliffe.
What? Who is it?
Terry McAuliffe.
Sure. He's a disaster. He doesn't have anything going for him. He doesn't have the right attitude. He's a loser. He's a big loser. And my guy, Gwen Tonka, is
Youngkin
is going to win, and he's going to win big. And I'm just urging all of your listeners to get on board and make West Virginia great again.
Virginia great again.
Right.
Now, you mentioned before that the current administration is a disaster. Is that a reference to President Biden?
Of course it is. It's a disaster. Look, everyone knows it was stolen. Everyone knows the country's going down the toilet. Everyone knows it's not going to. We're not what we were. I wanted to make us great again, and we took a giant step backwards. If you elect Paul McCartney governor, that's going to continue and ruin the state of West Virginia.
Terry McAuliffe in Virginia, but yes.
Exactly. That's what I said.
What say you to the headlines that say that you really don't know the candidate? And by the way, during this interview, you've mispronounced the candidate's name no less than 4 times.
Fake news. Fake news. there you are with your fake news. Of course you can say that because that's your interpretation. I have known Ben, I've been following Ben Youngblood for a very, very long time.
Glenn Youngkin.
And I know that he's a good guy. And I know that the other clown, and he is a clown, I know that for a fact.
How dare you?
I read the material.
How is he a clown? Does he amuse you?
Terrence McAuliffe is not someone that you want to follow. He's a disaster. He's a disaster.
I have a follow-up. And this actually has to do with business.
Oh, good.
So you're going to love this question. What say you to the allegations that your social network, who went public through a super PAC, is actually a fraud?
Yeah, well, you can make up anything. I learned that as president, that you can say anything you want, and you're the worst. You're the worst. You're just as quiet.
Okay.
I want to talk about the West Virginia governor's
race.
Right. Glenn Sunken is, as far as I'm concerned, going to beat the pants off of Jerry McAuliffe Factory.
What? No, it's McAuliffe. I'm sure it's McAuliffe.
Right. I know. Well, something smells bad. Right.
That was
right?
terrific. That was terrific, sir. Now let's take a step back just for a second.
Get out to the polls a month from Tuesday and vote for Willy Wonka.
A week from yesterday. I thought you hated the polls.
You can't. The polls. There are two things. I learned this when I was president.
Right.
They're the polls where the people in the fake news say he's got a lead, and then there are the polls that are where you go to vote.
Okay.
I'm talking about going to vote from. You want to do that? Is Thursday? This Thursday.
It's a week from today.
It's this Tuesday.
Yeah, a week from
this
today.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
This is Tuesday. Wait, I'm looking.
Next Tuesday.
Let me look on my desk.
Next Tuesday.
Yeah.
Oh, God damn it.
What's the matter?
I spilled my Diet Coke. Jeez.
Can you get
So as I was saying, Doug Uncle is the man for the job in West Virginia, and I think that he will be. If you elect him over Terry McJagger, you're gonna have a better state, and it's gonna make West Virginia great again.
Mr. President, what's
Rob.
No, this is Oscar.
Hello, Oscar.
I know you prefer saying Rob.
Quiet.
What say you to the campaign that the Dems are actually making sure that their voters get out and vote?
Well, you can always fake it. I know I have surveys that show that Democratic votes in the last election, each Democrat. This might be amazing. You won't believe this, but it's true.
Yeah.
Each Democrat voted 4 times. Every Democrat.
We won't let you spew those lies
Democrat.
here.
You know what that is, Mr. President?
The lies. Quiet.
That's a disaster.
Quiet. You're a disaster.
You're a disaster.
The whole thing is a disaster. You're out of order.
Okay, this is getting contentious.
Yes.
Can we pivot for 1 second?
Vote for Len Clunkin.
No, it's not his name.
That, of course, is his name, and he's going to be great for the state of North Virginia.
No, it's just Virginia. Now, listen.
Virginia, north, south, east, west, whatever one you want to come from. I say vote for Glenn Munchin.
We don't get a chance to talk to you much, so I want to pivot something, and I'm going to say some words that you enjoy. Are you ready?
All right. Yeah.
The Art of the Deal.
The Art of the Deal, which was my number one selling book. It sold more copies than the Bible.
It didn't.
And it's the greatest book. If you know I know how to negotiate. That's why I was able to negotiate with all the countries, like China, and make sure that they're not taking advantage. China.
So
China.
If anyone that is following the gubernatorial election in Virginia, they know that. Sir?
Sure.
Are you okay?
Quiet.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm fine. What's good?
Well, it's just.
I think he's enjoying his
I'm
breakfast.
eating.
Okay.
I'm not on camera now. I'm eating.
Not on camera now. So people will know
Is
that.
there a better biscuit than the one they make at McDonald's?
That's a great one, isn't it? Isn't that the one you served to the Super Bowl champions at the
They
White
loved
House?
every bite. They loved every bite. I wish I could own McDonald's. I'd like to call it McTrump's.
McTrump's. Well, the
Because
thing.
the food is so consistent, tastes the same. I don't care where you are in the world. If you go to a McDonald's,
Yes. Like, let's say you're Mr. Trump. Let's say you're in
If you go to
Paraguay.
McDonald's in Canada
Where?
or anywhere else, the food always tastes the same.
Right.
Now that's something that Ben Youngblood wouldn't be able to. No, he would know that.
He would.
But
my question for you.
that guy, he's a disaster.
Disaster, I know. He's a clown.
Big disaster. And I understand he I don't know whether this is true, but I've read it that he killed people for the Clintons.
That's not true.
No.
Shot people to death,
We can't
yes.
let you spew any more
Poison.
lies on these airways.
Poison.
We can't
He
do
would
this.
know. I
We
bet he's
can't do
never
this.
been to a
We
McDonald's
talked to your
'cause
press
he's
secretary, and they
elite.
said no.
Yeah.
They said
Right.
no, you wouldn't be doing this. Now, fair and balanced.
Yeah. I guess he didn't spill all the Diet Coke. Or is he just slurping it off the desk?
What say you?
Oh, wait. He's all right.
A crumb.
Biscuit crumb?
There we are. Hello, Oscar. Hello, Rob.
Hi, Mr. President.
Okay. So now that we've established that you believe there's a Northern Virginia and a West Virginia, you're not aware of the candidates you're supposed to be supporting.
Yeah.
You don't know when the election is. What do
course
you
I
care?
do.
What do you care about?
Me. Me.
You.
If we don't elect Gwen Tonka, South Virginia's governor, we will not get to make America great again.
Glenn.
That's what I wanted to
Okay,
say.
I want you
I'm
to
very tired. The
repeat-
carbohydrates have started to get to me. Right
Repeat
now.
after me, sir. Glenn.
Repeat after me. Quiet. I don't repeat after you. Repeat after me.
Well, you're a disaster.
Make
No. Okay, mate.
America great again. MAGA.
Great
Do
again.
you have any MAGA? You want me to send you some MAGA?
No, thank you, sir.
No, we have so many
Sure.
MAGAs on
No,
the
thank
line.
All right. Vote for Sven Blumkin.
No, his name is Glenn.
Oh, let him be. Let him be.
All right.
Let him be. Look, we're getting the rap signal here. Yeah,
Yeah, I got other interviews to do. I'm going on Newsmax. That's one of the real good ones.
That is one of the best ones, isn't it?
Yes, they tell the truth. Unlike the fake news media, Hannah Guthrie and all that crap.
Yes.
The thing that's interesting to me is that Brian Williams lied.
What?
Brian Williams.
About what?
He's a disaster. He's a liar.
No, he's not a disaster.
Yeah.
Talking about the helicopters?
I've got to
20
run.
years ago. 20
It's
years
time
ago.
for my second breakfast.
Oh, second breakfast, the third
Yes.
meal.
Yeah, it's actually just another bag. It's another big greasy bag. I love you.
Love you.
All right, take care. Goodbye.
There he goes, the ex-president of the United States, Donald J. Trump. And we
What
found
did
out
I
he-
miss?
Mike, we found out that Donald Trump cares about Donald Trump.
Yes.
Oh, that's not true.
To the nth degree.
And also
welcome
he
to the-
likes biscuits.
Big fan.
Welcome to the Mike O'Mara Show. Why are my headphones messed up?
Maybe it was the last guy who used them. Do they have Diet Coke on them?
Hello, there we are. Now I can hear. Hey, welcome to the Mike O'Mara Show. We're enjoying our second decade of the show that has become a daily routine for thousands of listeners in great places like Keystone, South Dakota, Green River, Utah, Faraday, Louisiana, Carlsbad, California, Highland, Illinois, and Interlaken, Switzerland. The Mike O'Mara Show is on now, and delighted to have you with us.
Do you think today's show is going to be a disaster?
No, I think it's going to be a triumph.
Mike,
I think it's going to be a triumph, even though, yes, Oscar, yes.
I know that there are perils of living in Florida. But this year, with the gubernatorial race, the perils of an election, an off election year,
Right.
you don't even have to worry about it.
That's right.
Yeah, well, you know what? I think it's too soon after the 2020 election. To me, it seems like we take a half a beat and then bang, we're right back in it again.
Right.
And
Though it is
that's
important for at least our listening audience.
But this isn't like the national election. This is you're having your
Statewide election.
in Virginia.
Yes,
exactly.
Statewide.
But
Right.
I guess the
It's neck and neck.
surprise is that it is neck and neck, and at the root of what we have always beat the drum to on the show
though. Sure.
is that if you're a voter, get out and vote.
Yeah, and this is a nonpartisan message. Just
Yeah.
vote.
Get
Please
out
vote.
and vote.
Please vote. Please vote.
Now, if you vote,
I don't really know. I'm not familiar with the candidates, but it's everybody's duty.
You're not the
to
only
get out
one that's
there.
not familiar.
Mike, it's also a privilege.
Oh, do you mean do you find people are less engaged?
That's
in the whole thing. That doesn't surprise me because you're a year after the presidential election.
Yeah.
So that's why people are probably not all ramped up, and that gives a challenger, youngkin, the ability to slide in on Terry McAuliffe.
What was the motto for Hertz? We're number 2, so we try harder.
Did you hear about Hertz and Tesla?
No.
Oh,
Big
Tesla, $1 trillion stock now. Tesla, $1 trillion company, not a stock. $1 trillion.
I was going to say I can only
company.
afford a slice of that.
Yeah. The thing about it, Tesla bought, Hertz bought, I forgot how many cars. You could look it up.
Yeah.
They bought a ton of automobiles.
Wow.
Hertz bought a ton of Teslas. So that's a big deal. That's
It
a
is.
big
Deal.
step.
But the point you brought up is valid, is that with some apathy and I think weariness from the last election, it allows
I have it.
We got to fight.
Yeah,
But
it
I still
allows for the
fight.
Get out
I've got to go down
do your
to
part.
Happy Valley. I've got to go down to Happy Valley again today, and
Make some
I'm
more
filled
friends?
I'm filled with trepidation that I'm going to be confronted or something like that.
Ah.
Because I don't know, because there was alcohol flowing, and I know I said some chippy things to some people. I don't think there's so many people down there that you can do it, but it just makes me a little uneasy when I'm going back into an environment. When you go back, when you're going back.
Entire blow by blow. You
Yeah,
might
well,
have to
okay, the
reset
blow by blow
situation.
You just got
was-
little bits and
Yeah.
pieces.
The blow by blow was I was in a discussion that somehow became political. And the
In this environment, really?
But here's the thing. I have to be careful because I avoid it now. I know who I am and I know where I am.
Well, you're the label.
And I know, but when I get into a discussion, sometimes I can be led down a path and not even recognize it because I've had a couple of cocktails.
Sure.
And that path happened to be the subject that we were talking about, I believe, on the bonus show, which was the Alec Baldwin shooting
it
situation.
was the bonus show, yeah.
And it came at me surprisingly, and I was very, very relaxed. And the way it's explained to me, and as I said, I'm a little hazy about exactly how, because I've been there all afternoon, and and the moral of that story,
hot
kids,
sun.
is keep your wits about you.
Yeah, dehydration.
Keep your wits. I didn't do anything. I double checked with my wife, but she got very upset because someone at the table told her to be quiet.
Really?
She got over the top. She got over
Time
the
to look
top
for a
upset.
new
And she is not
No,
a regular
I don't
there
think
as
so.
you.
I don't think so.
But
I don't
I'm
think
saying
that's going to happen.
But I think that
God.
Carla's not as much of a regular as you are in that environment.
No,
That's
and
why it
she's
makes
not
it even
used to
worse.
it.
Yeah, I
It's
know, that's
just
what I'm saying.
respect.
Yeah.
So that's what I go back to today, and I hope it wasn't a big deal. I don't know. It wasn't. I mean, but it was not pleasant, and it's not pleasant because we are recognized as having a differing political viewpopoint.
Yeah,
and when you have
you're the label.
doesn't matter
You
what
said
you
it
do.
yesterday.
Doesn't matter what you say. It's going to be like that, and.
Did you
I
break
said to
out
my
that,
wife-
do you not care about women's rights?
No, I said this to my wife.
would've.
I said this. I think that I really do believe. I was watching Bill Maher last weekend, and he was talking about we have to dialogue. If we don't dialogue, we're not. And we're not going to get anywhere.
True.
And so being in the minority with this opinion of politics, I have to lowball it. The problem with lowballing it is you accept things that you would normally challenge. If I challenged everything that I got there, I'd be doing it every other day.
Sure.
That I was there. I would be doing it all the time. I don't have the energy nor the desire. What I love is a particular sport. That particular sport is populated with a lot of people that disagree with me. That's it. So if I want to continue to play my sport and play it peacefully and play it trouble-free and settle up a bet after a round of golf and not be miserable all the time, I have to chill and pick them up. Everybody knows who I am. They know my ideas. I am welcomed in the groups that I play in. Maybe not socially after this past weekend, but I don't care about that. But it is not pleasant, but it's something that I have to deal with. And we failed, in my humble opinion, we failed miserably on Friday evening. absolutely miserably. There was no need. I was told by my wife that I was cool and collected, but I was still making an argument. And the whole Alec Baldwin thing is because he's such a known left wing guy.
Easy
that
target.
it started as something,
No
you
pun
know,
intended.
you think with all of his anti-gun, and they were trying to make that argument, and I was getting pissed because I thought from my reading and my observing
He's an
of the Alec Baldwin situation, I think that probably with everything that he's done to people, like with his daughter, with
Sure.
the famous email, with the fist
Voicemail,
fights
yeah.
with reporters and things like that. As far as Alec Baldwin, the person, that had to be a pretty horrific situation for him to be living in right now, for anybody to be living. And I felt empathy for that. And because of that, and because of a few adult beverages, I somehow got into, there was no empathy coming. It was more like, well, his politics are this way. We're going to make jokes or pick on him and stuff like that. And I had no business getting into it. I had no business whatsoever getting in it because it's not gonna work. You're not gonna win. You're not going to win. And I think I say this to everybody who's out there. You're probably, Bill Maher once again said something that made sense to me, that it's not about issues. It's not about whether you agree on certain things. It's owning the enemy. And that's both sides right now. It's not about, making people better. Right now, it's about owning the competition. It's a big, giant football game, and we all have our teams. And I really was glad my team won in the last election because I truly believe that we would be healthier because of it. So my number one issue, that put grown-ups back in charge of that. Are we? Could you make a case
Remains
that
to
we're
be
not?
seen. Remains to be seen.
Well, I
That's
think
a-
we
but
are.
young
I think we're better
administration-
off.
We're not
Yeah.
waking up every morning like with bated breath, waiting for the next shoe to drop of some
I agree
craziness
with that.
happening
Or
in the
every
White
morning
House.
for a tweet.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yes.
I want to
but
toss
getting
something
back,
in
let
if
me
I
just
can.
finish,
All
Rob,
right.
please, okay? I'm trying to just make the point that I think we ought to stop arguing as much because you're not going to win. I've known that for a million years. I've known that, but I have to do it. And of course, when the adult beverages come out, we do it.
Yeah.
And it makes for upset and an unhappy person that I'm living with because of this. And it was unnecessary. Was it uncalled for what happened to her? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But at the same time, did it need to happen? No, it would have happened if I just chilled. Yep, you're right. And gone. Not agreed, but just said, I don't want to talk about it.
Agree to disagree.
And if you can do that. Agree to disagree, move on.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
Mike,
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry that I jumped in. I was premature with that. But we just started, and this is a quick plug, but it speaks to what you said, and it speaks to what Bill Maher said, is we've just started a podcast here at Podville called White Flag with Joe Walsh. He's a former Tea Party Republican who is looking back and seeing that some of the stuff he's done in the past is wrong. And it's called White Flag because what he's doing, he's surrendering some viewpoints, and he's talking to people. He's only talking to people on his podcast that he disagrees with. He's never going to book a guest that he agrees with, and it's just a search for common ground.
How
And
is it?
it's-
Sounds fascinating.
it
I'd love to
is
book him on the show.
Sensational. I'd love
Good.
for you to talk to him, and it's
Please book him
Good.
on the show. Love
Yeah.
to have him
Yeah.
on. I'd
but
love to
it
talk
is.
about that.
You guys should check it out because the first.
Look, he's a firebrand. But
Yeah.
if he's gonna if he's gonna come and he's gonna want to talk to both sides, and
Just search for common
and
ground.
get common ground. The premise alone was compelling to us
Mhm.
to sit here and say, this guy's serious. I mean, he
means
ran
it.
against Trump in the last election.
Yeah.
So, he actually it's very compelling to hear people disagree at a high level where you're like, all right, we're not yelling at each other.
It's so civil. It's amazing.
I will say this. I don't think there's anybody that interacts with people who disagree with him politically more than I do down here. I'm not talking about out in America. I'm talking
Right.
about on this show.
Okay.
That's my reference point. The laughs, the moments, the joys, the care about family, blah, blah, blah. There are, if I came up with a list of similarities and differences and really worked hard at it, like spent a weekend thinking about it, taking an individual that maybe I know better than most that disagrees with me politically and listing the list of similarities as opposed to differences, I think the list of similarities would be far greater than differences. And, if you really think about it, I think in this country we do an awful lot that we're told to do when it comes to what we consume on television, what we consume retail, what we do. And I agree. I think the same thing is true of politics. So I see the point of just ramping it down. I got a feeling the other day, I mentioned this to you, Oscar, before the show, that I'm in the grocery store, and maybe it's because my paranoia is at an all-time high. I got a sense of people, just a general overbearing sense of people being less tolerant of one another. Mm-hmm. Is that completely off the wall, or
no?
I don't know. It's weird.
Look what we've been through in the past 18 months. It's not going to make us friendlier, more open, and more ready to embrace other people.
We're on guard. Seemed like we're on guard.
Yes,
I felt that way. I felt really on guard of just even somebody who'll go by you.
I went to a wonderful dinner with Shannon the other night, impromptu. Our friends called us and said, "We're in Georgetown. We haven't seen each other since before the pandemic, more than 18 months ago."
Right.
They have kids. Kids suck the life out of your social life for 2 years.
Right.
And then boom. So it's been almost 3 years since we've seen him. We bebop out and we have a great dinner. But you felt like everyone was kind of on guard about their politics.
Yeah.
And then I'm like sitting here, I'm like, do I remember where we stood before the pandemic?
Yeah, because it's been 3 years.
I am thinking, and I'm not judging them by that, but I'm processing like how am I not going to ruin this dinner by talking about certain things? Because we're adults now.
Mm-hmm.
They're talking about their kids, school systems, yada, yada. Like, eventually it gets there.
Yeah, it does.
How'd you like to be driving along in a golf cart with somebody, and finally they go, well, with this guy, I said, well, you're really talking to the wrong guy. And the person next to you goes, whoa, I didn't know.
We got Miguel Castro over here.
I didn't know. Didn't know we had Joseph Stalin riding in the car.
Didn't realize that he was less than 6 feet away from a guy that has the Biden variant.
See, that's tough. But then you look, you just said it. You're all there for the love of this one game.
Exactly.
Right?
Which is ostensibly a peaceful game.
You all have been blessed and lucky enough to have at least some sort of financial, IQ and luck to be able to do this at a pretty high level. And you're all white. Why can't you, really just get together on that and let that bond you?
Like what?
You would think.
Have Wonder Bread sandwiches?
I would crave.
Yes.
Not that I'm prepared to be an activist.
Right.
I would crave more diversity in the sport that I love. I truly would. Nothing would make me happier.
I think that's socioeconomic.
So much more fun.
It takes time.
It would be. It might be socioeconomic, but it's it's just it would be a lot more fun. And ultimately, we all have to live not only in this country but on this planet together. And I think that maybe when you talk about a pendulum swinging, you have to figure out how to be more civil. I don't see any evidence that that's happening right now. No, I don't see any evidence.
And
I see one team waiting for the next big game to see what happens. What do you think is going to happen in your fine state of Virginia?
I'm going to drive Rob to the polls, and I'm going to push him in the right direction, if you know what I mean.
And I'll also be I'll be handing out Excedrin and coffee at the polls, Mike.
Very good.
But I do want you to vote.
Of course I will.
And I want Pony to vote.
That's right, because Oscar doesn't have a dog in the fight.
I can't. I'm a DC guy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But for those at home, remember the whole I work from home, la 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 la. Go vote.
Exactly.
You have time.
You do. You certainly do.
Pony has
lots of time.
How do you think it's going to go, Rob?
I think that it's going to be very close, but I do think...
thank you for that analysis. I'm not asking. I'm asking who you think is going to win.
Can I finish?
Yes.
Can I finish? I think that the Democrats are going to squeak it out. I think McAuliffe is going to squeak it out.
What makes you think that?
I just get the impression that the apathy is here, but also they remember what it was like 2 years ago, and they don't want to repeat it.
And
they don't want to repeat it.
Look, if DC's the sun and Virginia's one of the planets orbiting, Virginia, especially Northern Virginia, felt the scorching sun when Trump was president.
Yeah.
They felt
it.
All right. They felt the flare-ups.
We'll see what happens.
The solar flares.
Solar flares.
It should be interesting. Yes.
What do you say when, and I'm getting a lot of this lately, what do you say when people find out like your political leanings, yours and really mine at this point, and they question your love of capitalism and like, do you not love money? Because
they ally the two of them.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I get it. I completely understand it. I don't.
But you can be a capitalist and still have.
I don't. But I don't. Look, I think that the capitalist system is what we have in this country. But I also think that we have a constitution that says nothing about capitalism.
Mm-hmm.
That's very true.
And so, what's that?
I said that's very true. I mean,
I think that as far as I'm concerned, being someone who sees all the ills in our society, I'm watching a great television show right now called Made on, I think it's on Netflix, and it just shows you once again a disparity between haves and have-nots, and what people have to go through. It's a phenomenal show, and I'll talk about it later in the show. But it's really, I feel as though because if you're going to tackle me and say, "Do you love your country?" I say, "Yes, I do." Mm-hmm. That I take issue with.
Yeah.
You say, "What? You don't love capitalism?" I would say, if I was really being serious with you, I would say, I love the idea of people being able to start a business, make money, be successful. Do I love the fact that 2 or 3 individuals have control over so much? I don't. That I don't love. I love the idea of somebody being able to be incredibly successful, get all the toys they want, get the houses they want, and do that. When it gets to a zero-sum game, I have issues with certain people living in 8 homes with more money than they would ever need and more than they could ever do in their lifetime, when certain people aren't able to literally sleep with a roof over their head or get meals. I think that we have an obligation. That's the difference. Does that make me hate capitalism?
No.
That makes me think that we could do better with
think you're a compassionate capitalist.
Yeah, as evolved as we are.
Well,
do I want our show to grow? Absolutely. Do I want us to be more successful financially? Of course I do. And if the show was insane, I do more, and I wouldn't have a problem. Back when I was making a lot more money doing a radio show, I didn't mind getting taxed. I didn't. Mm-hmm. But you talk about, look, when you go back to Gordon Gekko on Wall Street, and you go, greed is good, and when he's talking to Charlie Sheen about it's a zero-sum game, there are winners and there are losers. That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah.
The Bezoses and the and the Elon Musks and the Bill Gates. I don't know.
Yeah.
Does that make me a anti-capitalist? No, I just think that
I think you can be a capitalist, you can be compassionate, and you can also advance yourself not at the expense of others. That's what kills me.
You know what we are, Mike? We're the People's Podcast.
We're the People's Podcast,
yes,
baby.
Exactly what
That's
we
what we are. Glad we could button that up. And so you go, they talked about politics again. I don't think I was being divisive. I was explaining my point of view. And
Mike,
I was
you
saying,
were uniting.
We all ought to talk to each other more. I'm with Team Marr on that, and I'm with Team Chappelle. Maybe we can talk about that. Later in the broadcast. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show, brought to you by Rothy's. Looking good and feeling great just got easier thanks to Rothy's innovative approach to shoe design. Everything Rothy's makes is better for the planet. Rothy's men's shoes are knit with 100% recycled materials. Even the sneaker laces are made from plastic water bottles. No wonder Rothy's best-selling men's shoe, the Driving Loafer in navy, gets a 5-star review from almost every customer. How great are they? Rob has bailed on his Birks for his Rothy's unbeatable comfort. Let's see him, Rob.
I'm living in them, Mike. As a matter of fact, I got a call from Julia from school this week, and she says, "You wear Rothy's, right?" I said, "Yeah." She says, "They're so cool." Those are cool shoes.
My wife said the same thing to me. Rothy's men's shoes check every box. And if that wasn't enough, Rothy's just launched their first ever collection of accessories for men. Wallets, carry bags, card cases. Rothy's has all your everyday carry essentials. And Rothy's wallets are fully machine washable, just like their shoes. To help you welcome the fall season in style, Rothy's is doing something special. They gave us the chance to share this super rare opportunity with our listeners. For a limited time right now, you can get $20 off your first purchase at rothys.com/TMOS. That's ROTHYS.com/TMOS. Head to rothys.com/TMOS to find your new favorites today. And I will be telling you, I am so excited about the Rothys wallet because I'm a wallet person.
Yes.
And I love to change them all the time, and I'm never satisfied. I can't wait to get my Rothys wallet. Thank you, Rothys, for advertising on the Mike O'Mara Show.
Woo!
From the four corners of the World Wide Web and into your digital device. It's what you
All right, just let me start that again. Will you please? Jesus
From the four
Christ.
corners of the World Wide Web and into your digital device. It's what you need to know. This is the homepage.
This is the homepage. I feel like I'm in classroom right now. How much would you pay for an Andy Warhol artwork?
$5.
Ooh.
If-
For what I know, if I had the funds, I don't know what, like $2 million?
Well, let me tell you something.
All right.
If you had $250, we have great news for you. This is something you will like, Oscar. I was intrigued by it. If you're willing to play it fast and loose with authenticity,
Oh, no.
$250 gets you a potentially big windfall. An art collective in New York recently bought an original Andy Warhol drawing for $20,000. And now they're going to sell it to one lucky person for $250. But there's a big catch. They're offering it alongside 999 other works, which are high-quality forgeries. Each of them were drawn with a robotic arm and put through a process to artificially age the paper. The fakes are so good that even their creators can't tell them apart. Seriously, they've mixed them together, and now no one knows which one is real. The original is called Fairies, and each of the 1,000 works they're selling are called Possibly Real Copy of Fairies by Andy Warhol.
So there's no way to determine the real one now?
I don't know, let me finish. If they sell all 1,000, that's $250,000, a massive profit over their $20,000 investment. They say the stunt isn't about the money, though. It's meant to make a point about valuing authenticity over the art itself.
This is
So,
this is why
it's interesting.
This is why NFTs are NFTs. The
This is what I was thinking
blockchain
about, yeah.
authenticates. There's no faking who owns the NFT.
Mm-hmm.
That's the,
And this
I get
garbage
it.
they're doing right now, I bet you, is being run by big NFT to say, look at this. You can
Right.
buy a fake any day. And by the way, this auction, no better than the church auction that says, hey, win a Ferrari, and they sell $100 tickets to all of America, like
Right.
Omaze, and you never
Yep.
get a call.
And you know
You
what?
never even get a call from Omaze. I did Omaze twice.
The thing that really
Never
troubles
bought-
me
That's all,
about
that's all they needed.
Yeah,
then,
never
right?
won that house.
I hate this because if it is the fact that they now don't even know what the original is, I hate that. But I bet Warhol would love this. Andy Warhol
Fuck
would love
Warhol.
this. Hey, speak
I
ill
don't know
of the
how
dead.
I feel about it. I don't know. I don't mind it that
I got a
much.
Sonny
really don't.
Jurgensen reaction, Mike. I don't like it.
I
Well,
don't like
it's no,
it.
it's a Ponzi scheme.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
And, you know, it's
It
like
is.
it's a car and it screams big top. Like it's
Right.
just big top. It is not.
But in the
built-
internet age, it's perfect.
it's fine. But Mike, I guess
Right.
what I'm saying is, okay, let's say somebody can figure out what the real one is, but it is a raffle.
Yeah, it is. It is
That's
a raffle.
all it is.
A
You're
church
buying
raffle.
a big ticket raffle.
Cakewalk.
And no charity mention. So,
Yeah.
hallelujah. World Series news starts tonight, right?
Yes.
The World Series?
Absolutely.
Tonight,
The Braves are just the fourth team, here's some facts for you, to ever reach the World Series after having a losing record at the All-Star break.
Oh.
In fact, they're the first since the 1991 Braves. So the Braves seem to do this a lot. Jock Peterson is on the Braves now after winning the World Series with the Dodgers last year. So how wild would it be if he won back-to-back years with different teams? Very rare.
Yep.
According to MLB, only 8 players in history have won in back-to-back seasons with 2 different teams. Ben Zobrist was the last to do it. He won in 2015 with the Kansas City Royals and then in 2016 with the Chicago Cubs. Yordan Alvarez, the Astros player that just kicked the crap out of the Red Sox. Houston. He had 7 hits over the final 2 games of the ALCS. He's a monster. The entire Red Sox team had 5. He's the first ever to out-hit the entire opposing team over the final 2 games of any series in MLB postseason history.
Wow.
And he's a young guy, and when he comes up to the plate, I'm terrified of him. And every pitcher is too. Astros manager Dusty Baker is 72 years old, 72 years, 133 days old, and the only manager older to lead a team to the World Series is Jack McKeon. He was 72 years old and 329 days when he did it with the Marlins in 2003. And finally, Braves manager Brian Snitker.
Snitkers, give me Snitker.
Mm-hmm. He is guaranteed to be talking about a World Series trophy over Thanksgiving, even if the Braves don't win. That's because his son, Troy Snitker, is a hitting coach for the Astros. So he's got baseball families, baby.
Yeah, who's banging the trash can?
Not sure.
Is that
not
code?
sure what's going to happen. That's code for
how they
cheating.
cheat.
I know it is.
He never forgets. Don't bother asking Paul McCartney for an autograph because you won't get one. Instead, he said, let's chat, let's exchange stories. Paul said, quote, "It's always struck me as a bit strange, like, here, I can write your name down on the back of this receipt, please. Why? We both know who I am."
You see,
Paul.
Screams feeble.
Your buddy.
No, it's not necessarily my buddy when he does crap like this, and it's because they got a big release coming out. They just dropped the Let It Be box set. They've got the Get Back movie that's coming out Thanksgiving weekend. He has to manufacture stuff to get him in the press.
I feel like Paul is a real life Larry David. And I know that if that makes, I hope that makes sense to most
to
people.
me, and I think that's right.
Because-
Okay, we get the fame. The fame. I mean, it's there. I get it. I understand. But,
Yeah,
you know.
But Larry David's an uber dick.
Yeah.
And Curb Your Enthusiasm came back out this past weekend. And if you haven't seen it, it's as funny as it was before. I know you hate it, Mike, but it's as funny because you sit there and you're like, this is why people hate this man.
Yeah.
Well, but the thing about it is Ringo Starr did the same thing in 2008.
Yeah, but he's a nobody.
Yeah, but
But no,
that's the
he's
thing.
not a
You should.
nobody.
Well, he is a Beatle, but you should. But really, if you look over the course of history, Paul should not be following Ringo's lead.
Right.
This is not smart
Look,
business.
as someone, the first time I was asked, I think I was in a play in college, and it's such a thrill, and it's such a big deal. And obviously, if you're a Beatle like Paul, you've been asked 1,000,001 times. I get it, but you know what? Make it subjective, for Christ's sake. Don't make a big production about, I just don't want to do, it's me. No, you're validating the person in that moment in time being with you because they valued your person
but
so much.
what you don't understand, Mike, is the fact that, I have to get in the papers.
That's very
I know, but-
Liverpoolian.
yeah, but you're
Rob
giving
does a
him-
pretty good Liverpool.
Yeah,
That's
you're
good.
giving him this pass.
No, I'm mad that he's doing it. I'm explaining why he's doing it.
No, but he's not doing it for publicity.
Yes, he is.
He already has enough publicity.
Oh, I don't. Rob's got a good nose for this, Oscar. I think that he might be doing this.
There's some big releases
This is like
coming
a
out.
Tom Hanks factor.
It's 100%.
that he's just trying to make news.
Yeah,
by
when they
saying
did,
this.
he did another salacious story about the Beatles. How shall I say it? That he and John and some of their buddies discovered themselves together, and that was a big deal. And that story broke right before the Abbey Road box set came out because it got everyone talking about him again. And you know
what
what?
do you mean, like rubbed one out together?
Yeah, that was a big story about a year and a half ago. But the thing is that of course
How did we miss that?
Oh, we talked about it.
Did you write
tuned
the
up.
names on a piece of paper? All right. Anyway, I'm done talking about Paul.
Please.
I'm going to talk about another one of Rob's heroes, Luke Bryan.
Oh, come
thank
on.
Luke Bryan is definitely a good guy.
No.
He and his sons were on their way to do some hunting near Columbia, Tennessee, Sunday morning when he saw a woman on the side of the road with a flat tire. So he pulled over and got to work on it. Her name was Courtney Potts, and she posted a video of Luke on the pavement twisting the tire iron.
Yeah, you know why she had a flat tire? Because he shot it.
She told Taste of Country. What is that, a magazine? I did a double take, and as soon as I heard his voice, I didn't have a time to be in shock because he's like, look, we really need to get you out of this road because I almost hit you. Another passerby pulled over to help. The whole thing took about 30 minutes. She added, quote, he's just a humble guy. I told my mom that he went into dad mode. Almost.
That's
So it
cool.
must have been
Hey, do you have a hubcap key to unlock this thing?
Okay. That's your guy.
That's
I knew
nice.
That would be.
He's an ass.
A new survey asked people what age kids become too old for trick-or-treating, and 12 was the most popular age, with 12% of the vote. 13 was next, followed by 14, 15, and 16.
Okay.
I think when you're 13, it's about time to pack it in.
12 would be 6th grade. I think that's about right.
My son has made his final decision with me in the car today. We made that decision together. He said he wanted to be a spy. I said, well, being a spy, you blend in with everybody and they can't tell. I said, if you really want to be something like in law enforcement or something like that, why don't you be an FBI agent? And he said, could I wear my suit? I said, of course you could wear your suit. He's going to be an FBI agent.
That's great.
I love it.
We're going to make him up the little FBI ID and
I
everything
wear
like
my
that.
suit.
He needs an earpiece. Make sure he has an earpiece.
Oh, get him an
Yes.
earpiece, Rob. That's a great tip in. I love that. So that's it. He'll be walking around in his suit. I love my boy. I do.
Love it.
Reese's is, this is another thing like the time of year. They do
Sure.
it. They're unleashing a new peanut butter cup that comes with crushed up potato chips inside.
Ooh, I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued.
A photo of them leaked online last year, so we know they were thinking about it, or they were coming. We hope the rumors were real, but now it's official. It sounds like they're only doing them as a big cup. That's their king-size version that's bigger and thicker than a normal Reese's.
Big cup.
Big cup.
Big cup.
They should be rolling them out to stores nationwide soon, so look for them in the candy aisle. This isn't the first time they've done something like this. Last year, they started selling a big cup Reese's with crushed up pretzels mixed in. That's rocking.
It always sounds to me like this was a mistake at the factory.
You'd embrace the new.
Mike.
Embrace the new.
No, I don't
you
like
know.
the big cup. I'm sorry, I meant to hit this. Forgive me.
How are those hands working today,
I
pal?
don't.
What do you mean?
I see his hand. His melon, his hand,
Yeah.
his hock is like this, and I see the fingers up in the air, trying to clear the other fingers.
Mike,
of
I
that.
wanted to mention
Mike
big
O'Mara.
I wanted to mention the fat attack is all. You know what? All right.
Can I just get through this? We're running late on the news.
I literally just saw buttons move themselves on my board. I apologize.
All right.
Apologize.
Thank you very much. And now a little something.
Please.
A 20-year-old woman in Tampa Bay named Braden Lankford is facing charges after assaulting her own mother. They've been arguing about cleaning the house, and Braden got angry, so she picked up 2 tacos and threw them at her mom's head. Braden was in the dining room and her mom was in the living room on the couch, so it was a pretty decent throw. It sounds like both tacos hit her in the head. Someone called the cops. I love it when the story's that detailed.
Yeah.
Somebody
Somebody
a ghost
did.
that was in the
Yeah,
house,
it was.
called the cops, who showed up and found little bits of taco all over the place. A police report said the mom had, quote, food debris all around her on the couch, so she didn't get up. And then I was on the back of her shirt, too. So she leaned forward.
Debris.
Anyway, cops arrested Braden and charged her with misdemeanor domestic battery. She spent a night in jail and got released on $100 bond early Sunday morning. A judge ordered her to have no contact with her mom for now, and after that, no dinners other than pasta, soup, or mashed potatoes. Thank you. That meant the mom didn't get up,
That's
right?
right,
They
yeah.
found the debris.
Yeah.
She threw taco at me. There we go.
I'm over here. I'm over here.
Seriously, that would be like on a Wednesday evening after 7.
Yeah.
That would be probably if Carla threw a taco at me. Yeah. I said, where's the taco? It's right behind my neck. Thank you. We'll take a break and come right back with more fun on the Mike O'Mara Show.
Hello, Michael, Sean Patrick, O'Mara Middle School. These are your morning announcements.
Kristen Hot lost her retainer in the band room after the 7th grade girls' pep rally. If found, please return it to Principal Vastrick in the front office.
Bonjour. The Friends Club is having a creepy party on Thursday.
That's crepe, not creepy, you crayon eater. God, boys are so stupid.
Oh, yeah, you're stupid.
Yeah, so's your face. The fall Sadie Hawkins dance is coming up. Remember, that's where the girls ask the boys to the dance. nuts. So start finding a guy, ladies.
Yeah, Mrs. Spiewak is going to be on boner patrol.
I think she got some work done.
Finally, the school store will be closed next week because Trip Affleck put M80s in the boys' bathroom toilets next door.
So for all
I
your
can't
school
stand that
supplies,
promo.
visit
I
the
can't.
Michael
I'm
What's the
sorry.
point? It's a
I
hard
never
pass.
do that.
I think
it's
they
just
jumped the
voice.
shark.
They jumped the shark. They jumped the shark on that one. They can't all be. Help me with that. Help me. You.
Let's go back
help me with that.
Let's go back to the
please.
full QC.
All right.
Nothing goes on air unless I hear it.
I was on the fence on that one. I like the variance of voices. I apologize for a miscue. You know what? It's been months since we've had a misstep.
Their work is stellar.
Yes.
They do fine work.
But we must discipline them.
Yes.
We must
Thank you.
discipline them.
Yes.
Thank you. Amen. They were out of control. Too much acid. Anyway, this portion of the Mike O'Mara Show is brought to you by Honey, and we love having Honey as an advertiser. We all shop online, and we all want the best deal, but that elusive coupon code is forever mocking us.
Yes.
Boo. Thanks to Honey, searching for the coupon codes is a thing of the past. Honey is the free browser extension that scours the internet for promo codes and applies the best ones to your cart. Honey supports over 30,000 stores online, stuff like tech and gaming products, popular fashion brands, even food delivery. How does it work? Imagine you're shopping on one of your favorite sites. When you check out, the Honey button drops down, and all you have to do is click Apply Coupons. You want a few seconds as Honey does. You wait a few seconds, I should say, as Honey does its thing. And if Honey finds a working coupon, you'll watch the prices drop. Honey has found its over 17 million members, over $2 billion in savings. $2 billion.
$2 billion.
Don't miss out. Smart shoppers, Smart Shopper Mike O'Mara just saved over 20 bones on one order of toner and paper for his HP printer with just a click.
That's all it
Boom.
took.
That's me, everyone, if you want to know.
You're a smart shopper, though.
Smart shopper, Mike O'Mara.
If you don't already have Honey, you could be straight up missing out on free savings. It's absolutely free and installs in a few seconds. And by getting it, you'll be doing yourself a solid and supporting this podcast. Get Honey for free at joinhoney.com/TMOS. That's joinhoney.com/TMOS. Anybody, and I ask you guys, do you feel as though there's lack of closure in this whole laundry situation?
100%.
I guess we're really never going to know what happened, right?
Well,
we're never going to really know.
If you
the
recall,
skinny.
Mike, was it last Thursday when the news broke on Wednesday night that they found the body? I had a kernel, just a kernel of a conspiracy theory.
I remember.
Like an OZ original, where I said, hey, is this a little weird that the mom and the family called the FBI and the police, said, we're going to go tomorrow. We suggest you meet us outside the park, and then we'll find the body together.
Right.
And then as you read in real time on air, you read what I was like, red flag, red flag, red flag.
Yep.
Where the father found the dry pack away from the FBI, and then he decided to pick it up because he didn't want a reporter to pick it. It was strange.
Very weird.
Very
weird.
Very weird.
And as they say, a little too convenient. It almost fell into a perfect news cycle package.
On a Friday. Almost.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't know.
Poor Gabby's parents and her family. They don't know. They don't know for sure. They know strangulation, but they don't know what happened.
And we're not getting any intel from anybody, you know?
Well, America, as a short-sighted nation, we've moved on. We've got an answer, a dissatisfying answer, and we've moved on to something else. So they're gonna let it go.
His autopsy inconclusive on cause of death. So if Oscar's, if you took Oscar's conspiracy theory to its full extent, was that the mom and dad took him out there and wasted him,
right.
But I don't think
then
that
put
happened,
the dry pack in the brambles, and they said, let's cool it for a while.
Well, like now you've got to go. Like it's like, I don't know. Maybe the big convo at home. Again, this is cold blooded. The way I'm gonna lay it out is, he comes home and they're like, "What happened to your fiance?" He's like, and then he breaks down and tries to get some compassion with the family. They're like, "All right, we're gonna take a walk," because they know they got to get Dexter off this planet.
Right.
Have you heard the latest about this? That investigators in Florida confused Brian Laundrie's mother with her son while they were monitoring the family's home. in the days after Laundrie's fiance was reported missing.
Well, I mean, to be fair, he was wearing a dress.
Are you kidding me? They are built kind of similarly. Northport Police Department spokesperson Josh Taylor told CNN. Wink, that's our news down here, by the way. That's our with an exclusive interview. No case is perfect. The revelation of the surveillance mistake clarifies at least one discrepancy, but perhaps raises a few new contradiction between the versions of events laid out. It goes on and on. It's never. Will we have anything, or will this fade away into the ether? That's the question.
I think we'll get it.
I don't.
We'll get it because it's still early. Think about the unsolved mysteries that have been solved over the past, let's say, 5 years.
Cold cases.
I think these guys
the
are going
girl
to
is
trip up.
dead. The fiance's dead. Obviously,
I feel a little closure that evil is gone.
That evil is gone. I don't understand with the length of time. I mean that the remains, I guess, because they were underwater. That's why.
But why a fraction of the skull? Why?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's too convenient. It all falls together, but it answers it, as they say, it checks all the boxes. So they don't need to further investigate.
Well, it doesn't check the box for Gabby's family.
That's true. If
it doesn't at all.
If it does continue, it's going to be because they're relentless in the chase of it. They would have to.
What would the Spiwax do?
Spiwax would not be. No, Spiwax wouldn't murder. No, we would ignore it.
If you're on the victim side.
Oh, the victim side? That's a tough call. I don't know what I would do.
I'd live the rest of my life
hunting,
trying to figure out what happened.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it any other way. I worry that if anything ever bad really happened to my family, that I would be, you have to weigh being responsible and being the responsible person for, and being a vigilante sometimes. I think that's why most situations people come down on the side of not being the vigilante. But I think back to this clip in an airport of a guy that was arrested for abducting and molesting a teenage girl, and the father met him in the airport, and the father went to jail because the father, back in the days when you could probably get a handgun into the airport, took care of business on the guy. I don't know. It's just it's so incredibly. There are two things that frustrate me: what I've heard about Brian Laundrie's family, A, and B, the lack of communication coming out of the powers that be, because the cops don't know what the hell's going on.
Well, the cops think the dad is him, or the mom is him, and all that.
But there are three reasons I think we fight right now. So and maybe you guys disagree, but for me, it's about Gabby's family.
Yeah.
First, paramount.
That's true. Yeah,
paramount. It's about
closure for them to know what the hell went down and what happened. Now, when we've talked about it before, though, and this is not laying any blame on anybody, the idea of being out there on 4-month sabbatical when you're 21 or 22, it's like, where did they get their money from? How were they supported? How are they able to pull that off? For anybody, by the way, for a person who traveled with a family of 3 out to the West on a little vacay recently, it ain't cheap.
No, it's not.
But when you're living out of your van, making granola,
you still got to make
fuel. Fuel is through the roof.
Fuel.
Yeah, okay, but the family deserves some closure. The justice system's also involved, but that, in my eyes, is number 3. It's justice. It's also and the sick part of me, and maybe I'm just too down on society, for the optics of other sick, abusing Fs out there, thinking that this guy got away with it in one way or another.
And some way, yeah.
That this gives them some sort of green light.
And you know what? You guys have reminded me of a fact that when I talk about that it's closed because it has a convenient closure. It is not closed for the family. And that's something that you got to remember. And that's something that the media
I thought about it today.
Yeah.
I thought I'm the average guy. And I got up and I'm like sitting there, okay, well, what really happened with all this? And why is it still being cagey when it comes to the parents? And probably the most important question, where does this leave Dwayne Chapman?
Oh, you mean dog?
Dog the bounty hunter.
Dog El Bounty
Yes.
Hunter. That's right. Yeah.
Dog.
Great question.
Yeah.
What about Dwayne Chapman with all this, you know?
What about Dwayne? That would be a
Right.
good true crime podcast. What about Dwayne?
He'll
Only-
find a way. He'll find
Only
a way.
his stylist knows for sure. We'll take a break and we'll come back with a little TV review and a little drug review right here.
By now, you've heard the exciting new guessing game from the Mike O'Mara Show.
Who the F is it?
Now, Mike, Rob, and Oscar are taking it up a notch. The rules are the same, but the stakes are much higher. It's TMOS, Who the F is it? Squid Game Edition. You get 10 clues to discover the identity of a famous individual. When you have a guess, you yell out, "I've got it!" Guess correctly and win fabulous cash and prizes. Now, with Who the F is it? Squid Game Edition, an incorrect guess has dire consequences.
Yes, Oscar.
Go ahead.
Bob Barker.
Who the F is it? Squid Game Edition, only on the Mike O'Mara Show.
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. And now, not to be hypercritical with our wonderful promo team that do it out of the goodness of their own
Beautiful.
heart.
That is beautiful.
They don't even charge us for
Funny.
those wonderful promos. They need a heavier gun. They need a heavier gun. The gun sounds like a typewriter.
You're right.
What
The
do you
sound
think,
effect-
Rob?
I agree, Mike. We need a better sound effect of a machine
Can you
gun.
dub a better gun on there?
You bet your ass I can.
Oh, fantastic. Hey, welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. Did you know the definition of excessive debt is carrying more than $17,000 in recurring credit card debt? And the latest survey shows that 1 in 4 Americans fall right smack dab into this category. That means 25% of you listening right now need to hear what I'm about to say to you. With the massive rise in home equity and the imminent rise in interest rates, there's never been a better time to tap into your home's equity to take cash out for any reason. You need to call my good friend Mark Livingstone and his team at Cornerstone First Financial today. Whether you're paying off credit cards, student loans, your ex-spouse, or purchasing Bitcoin, you can enjoy some sweet tax. Are you going to take it over some sweet jumps? You can enjoy some sweet tax deductibility. That's right, Napoleon. Napoleon, I've been chatting with Bitcoin people all day. You can cash out or refinance. Do it. Cornerstone First lends their own money so they can meet or beat any competitor. God!
You gonna eat your tots?
But my lips hurt real bad. Whether it's a purchase or refinance, it's not a question of if, but when these rates will go back up. So do you and your family a favor. God, I was hunting wolverines. Call today, 202-625-1221 or cornerstonefirst.com. Can you come pick me up, please?
She's got like
anyway.
a dozen of them in the drawer in her desk.
So Oscar today was a little tardy
Yes.
for the
Yes.
taping of the show, and he blasted in here, and I've experienced what you used as today's excuse, that you ate the melatonin gummies
Yes.
last night to sleep. And
Are they
now,
still on
I
the
find-
hockey? Are they still in the National Hockey League?
the melatonin gummies, yeah. You know, I used to have a really good sound effect for hockey. I don't have it anymore. I don't know. But anywho, so you, what time did you turn in last night?
So this is what's wild.
Wild.
I got home roughly at 8:30 p.m. Fell asleep.
Oscar Santana centering for the Mighty Ducks against the Melatonin Gummies. The score here in the latter part of the third period is Gummies 3 and the Mighty Ducks 3. Now we got the Gummies moving up ice. They're taking it across mid-ice. That would be center ice, you moron. Thank you very much. Oscar Santana back over for the Ducks, and now we're going to see what happens. They're going to score a goal here in just a second, Oscar.
Yeah.
Then you're going to talk about melatonin. Here comes Oscar Santana across the blue line. He shoots, and he scores!
Winner.
And Gummy Nation yawns.
Thank you.
I had my grape and yogurt dinner, which is just horrible yet
Still
filling
doing that, huh?
somehow. Oh. And then I was watching Monday Night Football, and I passed out, and then I woke up at midnight, and I said, "Whoa, I'm wide awake!"
I hate that.
Oh, you didn't take a gummy after
And
midnight.
I said, "I need to plow 3 gummies just to get right back to bed."
You are dangerously on the precipice. I get more people talking to me about your caffeine consumption during the day. And by the way, I had 2 cappuccinos now that I'm drinking coffee today, which were regular coffee. Nay.
Really?
Doesn't really do it for me.
You need start up.
Like Carla's got this like super powerful coffee that I drink it first thing in the morning, and I'm like hazy. It's ridiculous. The Chino, though, the little shot of espresso with the skim milk on top.
Yes. Tasty.
It works. But the gummies after midnight, you're going to wreck yourself.
Didn't know, Mike. I wish we had a little pep talk beforehand because
you live, you learn, as Alana said.
My alarm goes off steady Eddie. I would say 6:45 a.m. And I'm up, right? And I'm trying to ride the Peloton before work now, so I'm rocking and rolling on a regular basis. I've done it.
So you're up at 6:45.
Yes, I'm going. And my wonderful, beautiful wife, if by chance I don't hear my alarm, which is probably not the case because I hear her alarm before my alarm.
I hear Carla's before mine.
And I'm like, all right, get up, turn your alarm, whatever it is.
Is it an iPhone alarm?
Yes, but she has 6 alarms to get her going in the morning.
I see. Very good.
So they're nonstop, and they start at 6 a.m. I woke up at 8:40.
The worst feeling in the world.
And I said, Shannon, what the F? And she's literally getting out of the bathtub. I hear her in the bathtub, and I was like, I got the show. And I said, and she goes, you look so peaceful. I said, I have the show.
That's kind of a follow-up to yesterday when she popped in with the pony thing where she wasn't even referencing what we were talking about.
Yeah. It's like, it's her life and we're living in it.
Right.
And I said, and she goes, well, just go. And I said, the days of me wearing sweatpants and a golf shirt are over. I have to go like an adult.
Yeah, I got to
Which means I have to get a quick shower. Yes.
Afterwards,
Yeah, and wear a dress shirt for God's sakes.
That's when I got the first text that said, gonna be 5 minutes late.
You need a better alarm.
The haze.
You need a better alarm.
No, well, not even.
Well,
the alarm is fine.
The gummies.
The gummies are too strong for me. I didn't expect gummies.
Well, I mean, 3 gummies is going to be too
strong to wreck
You know
me.
what? Even with gummies, I think my alarm would probably wake me up even with the gummies. Probably.
Yeah, but then you'd snooze it.
I'm not used to the system.
I would snooze it, but after the initial, you want to hear it?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Is that why you always come in such a good mood?
Hello, possums.
That's how he does it. Folks should know.
If you're at home, if you think, oh, well, why? If you're looking for a great night's sleep, and I'm sure you can build a tolerance to this, take it on a Friday, sleep in till 3 o'clock the next day.
I am afraid of it even on the weekends. And, when I have now even a Friday night like I had, I only got probably halfway through yesterday when I was really through it and really over it. Mm-hmm. And
It's a cloudy haze.
It's a cloudy haze that will, if you do it when you're ready for your 8 or 9 hours.
Yeah.
That's when you want it. And I don't get 8 or 9 hours unless maybe on a Saturday night.
Yeah,
I certainly don't get it on a Friday night because we have piano in the morning.
I was going to say, for you to get 8 hours, you have to go to bed at 9 o'clock during the week, right?
Yeah. I have to go to bed at 9:30.
I've never done melatonin. I find that vodka is just fine.
Oh, no, but vodka will make you up when you wake up.
Mike, got to use a lot of ice.
Nice. Water it down, baby.
Water it
down. Well, beware of that.
Yeah.
Ooh, we got multiples. We got multiple selections of melatonin. I could bring them all in. I got 3 or 4 bottles of the different kind. Carla's a big believer. That's why I'll come home at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Hello.
We're putting them in the fruitcake this year.
Hey, thanks, Rob. I will be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I present the creature?
You're a monster.
You're a monster.
I'm a monster.
We're not monsters.
That's scary stuff, isn't it?
You're the monster. No, you were built this way, young lady.
You incredible soulless prick.
Come over here, you hot monster.
But I'm
He's a monster, Rob. He's a monster. That's what he is.
Oh my God, is this you calling me a monster?
monster?
You're a monster.
If you don't have a Mike O'Mara Show bonus subscription, you're a monster. Your blood will run cold with the fear of missing out on the frighteningly funniest hour of TMOS every week. Uncut, uncensored, undead.
It's alive!
Save yourself by ordering a TMOS bonus subscription by clicking the bloody banner at MikeO'MaraShow.com. The power of Christ compels you.
You're an inhuman monster! I said good day!
Good day. I want to say we might blow up the old, school announcements one, but Jim Amato, Mark Riddell,
yes,
and all the work you do. You guys, you have a batting average of like 895.
950.
It's fantastic. Why did you have to one-up me on that?
Because
why did you have to do that? Why? Because you drink with him? Is that why you had to do that?
No.
You had to one-up me. I'm trying to be nice here. I am trying to be nice. Don't try to out-nice me when I'm trying to be nice. I'm the one that gets labeled the monster. Okay?
Then let me say this. I hate the promo.
Yes. Thank you, Rob. No, those guys... Those. Do you remember back in the day when the promos used to be your responsibility?
Mm-hmm.
They were terrible.
They were terrible.
I mean,
now they're great.
Cooler weather makes it easier to miss signs of the. Sometimes there's just no helping. I just have to dive right back in. Cooler weather makes it easier to miss signs of dehydration, which means it's even more important to keep your body properly hydrated. Plus, flu season is in full swing. Proper hydration and vitamins can help support a strong immune system. Prioritizing hydration helps us feel healthier on a day-to-day basis and lets us live up to our highest potential. One stick of Liquid IV in 16 ounces of water hydrates faster and more efficiently than water alone. And not only that, but it tastes great. Flavors like watermelon, strawberry, and lemon lime. It's 'tis the season for a few extra drinks, so trust me, this is what you need. What makes Liquid IV so effective? CTT, that's cellular transport technology. It's the optimal ratio of glucose, sodium, and potassium, and it delivers water and nutrients into the bloodstream super fast. Plus, Liquid IV is on a mission to change the world. The products are being donated to hospitals, first responders, food banks, veterans, and active military. Liquid IV has donated over 11 million servings globally. Grab your favorite Liquid IV flavors nationwide at Walmart, or you can get 25% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use the code TMOS at checkout. That's 25% off anything you order when you get better hydration today using promo code TMOS at liquidiv.com. Let's reach in there and see who's hanging out in the digital dumpster today, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello, I'm Monty Hall. I'm here to make you a deal. Behind door number 3, that's a zonk. Remember, if we all do our part, everyone's a winner.
He's been living there since 2017.
Oh, has he really?
There he is.
Yeah.
Yes,
he
behind
missed
door number
the
3.
Pandemic. Like,
he missed
oh,
it. Yeah.
damn it.
Such a deal.
Oh, that's, you know what? When you get the Delta variant, that's a zonk.
That's right. Yeah. Hey, it's a pandemic. What does Jay have in the box?
Oh, Jay. I think Jay's in the dumpster, too.
I think Jay's gone, too. But Jay was a great announcer. Better than Johnny Gilbert, in my opinion.
I hate Let's Make a Deal. I think it's a horrible game show.
Well, I hate the new version of it. I hated the old version.
Yeah.
I hated Monty Hall.
That's why I'm glad he's in the dumpster.
It was so California, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
It was
And
so
you know what?
California.
People in costumes, no thank you.
Yeah.
No.
Yep, I agree with you.
Yeah. What's in the box, Jay?
Jay.
So, were you ever at a point where you enjoyed embarrassing your children?
You and I both have that chip.
Yep.
I mean, it's it's the Uncle Buck factor.
It is.
You know what I mean? I don't, but I look, I don't think that I do it in practice, but the idea is kind of amusing, But I've never done it in an over the top.
I
way.
never did either. But this tape I'm about to play features a 12-year-old, which means 6th grade, which means it's probably prime.
Absolute prime.
For embarrassing a child.
Prime.
The best way, take it from a guy, father of 2, been through it. The best way to embarrass your kids is to bring their friends over and engage them in conversation longer than they want to do it. Just make them talk. Like, how are things really? Just like, how's school? Do you like your teachers?
Right.
And that's what. But this lady goes over the top. She dropped her kid off at school and had rigged up a sort of PA system in her car. So as he's leaving the car to go into the school, she makes this announcement.
I love you.
This
No!
This
I
is
hope
in the
you
car.
have a great day. We're at the front of the school.
Ashton, don't forget how much I love you. I've loved you since the day I pushed you out of my hoo-ha. Make good choices. Love you, baby.
The best part of the video
I
are
kill her.
the kids that are turning and looking at the car as Ashton is pulling his hoodie down lower and lower and lower.
Do
and
that
lower.
again. Got to hear that way.
So,
by the way, the first comment out of him is that I guess the testicles dropped and the voice changed rather because it sounds almost like
yeah, he's dreading it. They're in the car beforehand.
I love you. No! I hope you have a great day. We're at the front of the school.
Ashton, don't forget how much I love you. I've loved you since the day I pushed you out of my hoo-ha. Make good choices. Love you, baby.
Wow.
I bet she's a piece of
The
work.
make good choices is what wins.
That's like good choices at the end. The hoo-ha I can do without, but
too much.
that's me being a little.
Is she attractive?
We don't see her.
Oh.
We only see Ashton, and he's
But
gorgeous.
that voice at the beginning.
Gotta go and complete my work. Make good choices. Mike, do you still, your main news source is still WTNH 8 in Connecticut, right?
Hey, that is a station I've watched. That's WTNH Channel 8 in New Haven, Connecticut.
That's the
Used
one.
to be in New Haven. That's where Pat Sheehan went from Channel 3, WTIC, which is now WFSB in Hartford, and went down to WTNH down in New Haven. It was a big, big deal. And Al Terzi was another guy. I remember all the anchors from my childhood.
WTIC, where they go, what? Welcome. No,
WTIC Radio, where they go,
it's time for our oldie. The time now is 2 minutes after 7 o'clock.
Oh, so it was
Bob
one of
Steele.
the. Bob Steele was on a TV radio combo.
Yeah, they're all.
Okay, very good. Well, anyway, this is Ashley Baylor, not really focused on her weather report because they see a shooting star on the live feed, and it stops things cold.
The actual radar site. So, what was that? Whoa, did anybody else just see that? Did we just catch a shooting star? I think we did, or me,
Good for her.
We just caught something on our sky cam here.
Something.
Whoa. We're going to have to play that back once I'm done with this forecast here.
Okay, can I stop you right there?
You would.
Let me tell you why she's great. Why she's because her total and complete comfort in her skin on camera, which is part of it, and then she's looking at something and she realizes that there's import to it,
right.
And she has the presence of mind to comment on it. You've got 1,000,001 people out there in plastic headland that would be like, okay, I guess we saw a little something there, right? Am I right about that?
That was the only isolated clip on. It was on, I believe, Twitter, so we don't have to do the thing, but. I guarantee you that if it had gone longer, there would have been a guy that they throw it back to and said, I'm not sure I saw anything.
You're right. I would say that is so right that I would love to get a longer clip because you get the end. I don't know.
I don't know about that. Meanwhile, it's National Pumpkin Day. Dateline, Nebraska.
true.
Mike, Hy-Vee is a great grocery outfit out in the Midwest.
Never been.
And they sponsored a contest to make the world's largest ice cream sandwich.
Oh, hello.
It's 3,000 pounds.
Every donation is so important to us. This
And
one.
Mike, I want you to know that the main reason I pulled this is every donation is important.
Yeah, thank you.
Every donation is so important to us. This one is so special because we know that it's going to bring so much joy to families and children who are just struggling to make ends meet.
That's our goal, 5 million meals. Personally, I think we can smash that.
So they're going to donate the 3,000-pound ice cream sandwich to people in need so homeless people can have diabetes. I think that's nice.
So they're really like taking chunks of it and giving.
They're distributing it. Yes, it's very important.
So it's not going home to Paulie Christine's big freezer in his garage.
We've got a footage here of a very large ice cream sandwich.
Now we're talking. Now that's news.
Speaking of food, we've talked about this in the past. I've brought it up that the A&W fast food chain introduced a 1/3 pound burger to combat the quarter pounder, and it didn't sell. Because
because people didn't know the measurement.
They thought it was actually smaller.
Yeah, 1/3.
They're trying it again with the 1/3 pounder.
A&W launched an advertising campaign to promote a new 1/3 burger. It was bigger and beefier than the competition's puny quarter-pound option. So how come nobody bought it? Turns out, Americans are just terrible at math. Like, really bad. Everybody thought that 1/3 was smaller than 1/4 because, you know,
Yes.
4 is bigger than 3. Introducing the A&W 3 Nights Burger. It's bigger.
So by not reducing the fraction,
I would find an A&W because of that ad campaign.
I don't know if we have
More
one.
power to them.
We used to have one at Fair Oaks
I
Mall.
know.
That's the last one I saw. And Mike,
3 Nights Burger.
the 3 Nights Burger. It's bigger.
That is fantastic, and kudos to them
Yeah.
for
And
having a sense of humor.
Let's close with this. I love when Seth Meyers writes a perfect joke. Why is it that all famous celebrities feel they need to open up a vodka company, a gin company, a wine company?
It's interesting because there's money in it.
There's a lot of money. Well, Brad Pitt has a winery.
Actor Brad Pitt recently announced that his winery will release a new rosé champagne, though women are more interested in his Pinot.
That's your digital dumpster. Have a good Tuesday, everybody.
That was funny too. Good audio vault today, Rob Spiewak
Dumpster.
bringing it. Anyway, we got to. Oh, I'm sorry, dumpster. Jesus, I hate that name. We got to get out of here. We'll be back with a brand new show tomorrow. Make good choices, people. We'll be back with another episode. For Rob Spiewak and Oscar Santana, Mike O'Mara saying so long, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Want more? Make sure you check out the Mike O'Mara Bonus Show. Get it at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.
I can tell you this. He won't sell anybody out to buy his future. And not...
Gonads are useful for their purpose, but they are no substitute for brains.
Good night, ladies.
Good night, sir.